What if I told you probably the most valuable report, safety report that an employee can give you was one that they actually was submitted, but nobody got hurt? Sounds strange, doesn't it? If nobody got hurt, why does management even need to care? Because sometimes the difference between a near miss and a real serious incident taking place is nothing no more than probably timing, probably position, or merely just simple luck. But here's the real problem. A lot of organizations don't take near misses seriously. They really don't. We see it all the time. Employees report the incident, management gets busy, the report gets filed, and then everyone moves on, goes on with their regular lives, goes back to work until the next time it happens. Except the next time, someone gets hurt. So today, I want to talk to you about near misses, what they are, why employees sometimes don't report near misses, and most importantly, how supervisors, managers can use these near miss reportings to correct hazards before someone actually gets injured. Because a near miss isn't just something that almost happened. It's a warning, and smart organizations will listen to those warnings. Now let's get down to the basics. What exactly is a near miss? By definition, a near miss is actually an unplanned event or unsafe condition that did not result in injury, illness, property damage, or some other loss, but it actually had the potential to do so. In simple terms, something went wrong but nobody got hurt this time. Let me give you an example. Imagine an employee walking through a work area and a load is being moved overhead. Something shifts and a piece of material actually falls. It lands just a few feet away from the employee. Now, nobody gets hurt, the employee walks away, and that is actually considered a near miss or a near hit, according to the comedian several years ago, George Carlin, considered that to be a near hit. The most important question I guess you could ask here is, why did the object fall? Maybe was the load not properly secured? Maybe was the equipment not inspected? Maybe the employee was walking in an area where he was not supposed to have been. Was the procedure not adequate? Was the employee not following procedure? So what was the problem? The fact is that nobody got hurt doesn't mean it wasn't important. And management a lot of times looks at it that way. It may actually be one of the most important warnings in your organization today for your organization and your entire safety program. Think about it. I think one thing that we need to do is we need to define what between a near miss and an actual accident. Let's look at it another way. A near miss has just occurred and nobody gets hurt. An accident happens and somebody gets hurt. But the underlying hazard itself may be the exact same thing. The difference may be simply luck. And that's why I don't want supervisors thinking, well, nobody got hurt, let's go on about our business. I want that supervisor thinking, why did this happen? And how do I make sure that it don't happen again? Now I want to talk about something at this point that I feel is probably one of the most critical pieces of this, of talking about near misses. Employees will report what management shows them that they want them to know about. If you tell an employee, hey, we want you to report near misses, that's good, that's great. And employees will report those near misses. But your actions, here you go, listen, your actions after they report them is what's most important. Because if an employee can hear, an employee hears, we want you to report near misses, they're going to report it. But if the response is, who did this? Why were you doing that? Why didn't you follow the procedure? Who's responsible? You have just taught that employee a valuable lesson. And that lesson is, don't report it the next time. You know, there are several reasons why employees don't report near misses. Fear of getting blamed, fear of discipline. That's huge. They don't want to look bad in front of other employees. They figure, hey, management is not going to do anything about it anyway, so why do I need to report it? Or they've seen people report instances and then nothing actually just don't get done. And you know, here's the biggest problem. When employees stop reporting near misses, management loses visibility of the hazards that may be taking place. You may think the workplace is getting safer, but you may simply just be getting fewer reports. And those are two vastly different things. But if you say something like, hey, thank you for bringing this to my attention, that simple response matters. Second, find out what happened. Find out what happened. Not who screwed up. Instead, something like, walk me through the process. Walk me through step by step. Let's start at the top. Walk me through what happened and what took place. Now you see the difference? That's a big difference. Third, look for the hazard. What condition allowed this event to even occur, to take place? Fourth, correct the hazard. And this is where near-miss reporting becomes its most powerful. Because if you can correct the hazard before someone else gets hurt, what have you done? You've just prevented an accident from happening. I wanted to just jump in here just for a moment. If you've been following my channel, you know I'm passionate about helping safety professionals make a real difference and not just check the box. That's exactly why I wrote the book, Safety First and Coffee Second. Whether you're new to safety or you've been in this profession for years, I believe you'll find ideas that will actually strengthen your program and help you build a stronger safety culture. If you're looking for a resource that's honest, practical, and written by someone that's been there, I'd be honored if you would pick up your copy on Amazon. Just search for Safety First, Coffee Second by Tim Heath. And thank you for your support. Stay safe, and remember, safety's first, and coffee, well, that's always second. Let's get back to the video. Now, here's something that I would like for every supervisor, every manager watching this video to take out of this, or to remember of this entire video. Near-miss reporting isn't about collecting paperwork. It's about finding hazards in the workplace. If your organization has 100 near misses reports or near miss reports sitting in a database, but nothing is being corrected as a result of those reports, you don't have a successful near miss program. What you have is a awesome filing system, and that's pretty much it. The goal isn't how many near misses did we report. The goal is, what did we learn from these reports? And what did we change because of them? So there's one more thing supervisors and managers need to do, and that's actually to close the loop. If an employee reports a near miss and you've investigated it, you've gone through the process, you've looked at it, you've investigated it, and you make a change, tell that employee or the employees what you've done. For example, last week, one of our employees reported a near miss involving a walkway. We investigated it, and we found that there was a drainage problem, and we corrected it. That sends a powerful message to the employee or the employees as a result. We listened, we took action, and we reported the matter as to what happened. And when employees see that their reports actually lead to improvements, they become much more willing to report the next one when it comes about. That's how you begin building a very strong safety culture in the workplace. I want supervisors and managers to ask one question. Instead of asking, did anything or anybody get hurt? Start asking, what could have happened? What could have happened? Because those two questions lead you into completely different directions. Did anyone get hurt? No. Conversation is pretty much over with. But what could have happened as a result of that near miss? Now you've opened the door to an investigation. What failed? What condition existed? Why was the person exposed to this? What controls were missing? Like I said earlier, was the procedure adequate for whatever they were doing? Maybe it wasn't. And most importantly, how do we prevent it from happening again? You know, a strong safety culture isn't built on posters or built by posting posters. It isn't built by fancy slogans, and it certainly isn't built by safety is our first priority. Throw that out the window. A safety culture, a good, strong safety culture is built by what happens when something goes wrong. When an employee says, hey, I almost got hurt. Does management actually listen? Does supervisors actually investigate? Does management communicate the solution? And does the employee feel safe bringing forth the very next near miss that occurs? That's culture. That's safety culture. What happens after the report is what matters. So the next time an employee tells you, hey, I had a near miss, don't dismiss it. Don't immediately look for someone to blame, and don't simply put another report in a filing system. Stop, listen, investigate, correct the hazard, and communicate what you have found, what you have learned. Communicate that to all the employees, because that near miss may be the closest warning you're going to get. Today it was a near miss. Tomorrow it could have been an injury. And that's why I believe every near miss is an opportunity. It's an opportunity to learn. It's an opportunity to improve. And most importantly, it's an opportunity to prevent someone from getting hurt. And if you're a supervisor, a manager, safety professional, I want you to leave with this. Don't measure your safety culture by how few accidents you actually have. Look at whether your people are willing to tell you about the things that almost became accidents. Because when employees feel safe enough to report the warning, management has a chance to prevent the injury. Make sense? That's a strong safety culture. Always remember, safety is first. Coffee, well, that's second. Till I see you in the next video. Take care and stay safe.